youngest son, Eli, was about 7 years old. He cut his arm on some farm equipment. So I took him to the ER because his arm guts were coming out. When they took us into the room where he was going to get stitches, to say he resisted would be rather an understatement. It took two nurses and me to hold down this 60-pound 7-year-old. He screamed out. Now, I assumed that they were poking him with the needle. I began to cry. The sweet nurse took my hand and said, "It's going to be okay." The other nurse simply said, "The doctor hasn't touched him yet." My son was certainly full of drama, but he was also in pain. Not just physical pain, but also psychological pain because of the fear and the trauma of the situation. Any loving parent will tell you that they would greatly take the place of their hurting child. To see one's child hurting is one of the most painful things a person can experience. It's a literal physical pain in the chest, in the heart. I cannot begin to fathom what Mary, Jesus' mother, was going through. She must have been feeling every emotion possible. Was she angry at God for allowing her to have such heartbreak? I mean, God had chosen her for the most beautiful task, to nurture the Son of God as he grew in her womb. For 9 months, Mary bore Jesus in her womb, feeling him move and grow and kick. As a baby, she held Jesus and sang to him and promised him that she would always love and protect him. As he grew, she nurtured him and comforted him as he got hurt, or as the kids at school rejected him. And now, the woman who bore the Savior of the world in her womb was forced to carry the weight of his suffering in her heart. And here is Jesus, looking down at his mother with blood-soaked, swollen eyes, suffocating and barely able to breathe. And he says to her, "Woman, behold your son." And then he looks at John and says, "Behold your mother." What a powerful and beautiful moment. Jesus, while suffering and dying, was still being the loving son in caring for his mother, making sure there was someone to care for her after he was gone. But for Mary, did it bring peace? Did it give her a moment of comfort, a way to accept what was happening? Or was it like a stab to the heart, like a moment of full realization that he was going to die, that God was not going to rescue him? A mother's job is to protect her child. How helpless Mary must have felt. How distraught. How hopeless. Surely the words of Simeon's prophecy when Jesus was presented at the temple as a baby were flooding her mind. And a sword will pierce your own heart too. As you continue in your Lenten journey, think about Mary. What was it like for her? What did she feel as she watched her son suffer? Now think about your children or someone else that you deeply love. How do you feel when they are hurting? And now realize this. That feeling, that is exactly how Jesus feels when you are hurting. And that is exactly how Jesus feels when his children walk away. God feels it for both the oppressed and the oppressor, for those who suffer and for those who cause suffering. So when you're in pain and when you feel all alone, know that what Mary felt as she looked at Jesus suffering upon the cross, that's what God feels for you. How great a love is that?